I have 4 children. There are 3 boys and 1 girl. The girl is the oldest. She's 19, going to 20. And then you have a 17-year-old, soon to be 18. And then a 16-year-old going to 17. And then we have a 12-year-old going to 13. So it's a full house. I started working last year. I started a business, you know. Prior to then, I have been in and out of work. I came into UK 11 years ago.
Oh, okay. So your family was where?
We were in Nigeria.
Oh.
I had my children in Nigeria. So I came with the 4 of them to the UK. The last one was 1 year old when we came. So I didn't quite get the system, you know, when it was miles.
Oh, can you tell us about the difference?
Oh my God. In the UK here is a different kettle of fish. First of all, you don't have any help. So education in Nigeria is quite different from what you have here. People don't seem to take education that seriously.
Oh, right.
I thought, until I found people who go to private schools. So the difference is there. Just quite a few people that, you know, stay on top of homework, you know, get in touch with teachers, think about playing and listen to children, what they do. You know, there was a lot to learn. It was good because, you know, having to, you know, be in trouble and go to school and learn from the teachers and even from the parents, it was all in the bag. So yeah, it's now I love it. I don't think I'll be anywhere else. I love it.
And what about the difference of being a mother? Is that very different in Nigeria and here?
Yes, a lot. As a mother in Nigeria, you're in control. You have support from the community where you live. Your child is everybody's business. So the community looks after children. Yeah. So, you know, it's what I see here is different because even back home, you can't just go to a stranger's house because the other neighbor is looking out of the window and can challenge you straight on. Where are you going? Are you not supposed to be home? Where is your mother? You know, things like that. People care. Here, nobody gives a damn. They don't worry about the noise. You know, I've lived in different places. So some people worry about noise. Some people don't like children. And they are not ashamed. You know, it's like, we don't like it, so deal with it. And others love children. So there's a balance here. But, you know, where I come from, you're a product of the community where you live. So nobody wants to have a thief or robber or criminal. So we start early. You can't go out there, you know, move into someone's house. Where are you going? Who sent you there? You have more 1, 2, 3 people asking questions. So even if you're away at work, you have like natural CCTV on your house. Everybody would tell you what's going on. Yeah, not without its flaws, really, because when you're everybody's business, you have other things come there too. Yeah, but here it's really private. And I found out that moms roll with moms. Mothers roll with other moms. You know, like you go and you take your kids to school and you're looking out for people like yourself. Because you see the ones that go to the city. They're wearing their nice clothes, their stilettos, and they're rushing off to work, nice boots. And for those of us who are not, you know, who are moms. Oh, Lord Jesus. You look out for the other ones and you can go out, just have a quick cup of tea or follow you to the house for that cup of tea or go to Asda shop and then, you know, say something different before you return to the routine of cleaning, washing, making beds, making dinner. You know, looking ahead, I like education, so I really am into looking at what's next. So looking at the curriculum, researching childcare and development, because also I have to engage with the school so that we find a balance with the culture, because I used to be in trouble a lot because my kids would do stuff and, you know, it's just a cultural difference. So I have to go there and observe. So what would you like me to do? How do we make it work so that the child is protected, and then we learn our lessons and integrate normally and then move on. So there was no way. I was in and out of work, but at some point, if I do have problems and I call work, like the management, look, I gotta go to school. And they're like, you're always going to school. I quit. Said, no, take your job. This is my life. I don't know what I'll be without, if I'm not a mom, there is no job. What is a girl got to do? Nothing. I have a college degree. I've worked. I've been in the city. I've worked internationally. Then coming here is a different life. And this is all I have. My children. They're everything. And I'm quite protective. So you're not coming between me and my children. What work? What money? I lived poor. Very poor. Yeah. There was once I went to Asda. Everything I bought was green and white. Then this lady was looking at my trolley. I said, it's real. I'm poor. And I have 4 kids. And she was red. It was like, I wasn't looking at you. I said, no, that's the reality. I can't afford what you have. She was so embarrassed. She ran away. You know, but I no shame, to be honest. That was what it is. It was like that. And we're not entitled to benefits as an immigrant. At the time, you have to pay your dues in the system. I was happy, you know. Every little helped. My kids, they had, you know, you have to keep the clothes clean, even though, you know, some of them were Asda clothes, then whitewashed, you know. But they were clean. And you could just make do with what you can afford and just ensure that life rolled on. It's a lot better now, so yeah, it's not like that. But
And in Nigeria, do they value you as a mother? Is the role of mother, is that valued?
yes and no. I beg to differ because it's to find the balance. First of all, a girl has got to marry.
Anyway,
Try being a Nigerian girl and you're 30 years old and you're not married. You know, and things are changing now because women are coming out to be who they are, not what the system dictates for them. So just try being married for a year and you're not round like a full moon. And check your in-laws out what they're coming to say. So yeah, being a mom is absolutely vital. It is important. That is the next thing. At your wedding, everybody's saying, we're coming back in 9 months. So that sends a signal that you have a job. We're expecting twins, 1, 2, 3. You know, so it's absolutely vital. How are you going to carry on the generation of the, you know, and to you as well. If you're not pregnant in the first year, you begin to go to church more often and pray, God, help me to be like everybody else. Absolutely vital. But also,
here, then, there's less pressure.
oh yes, here you can be yourself. There you have your parents are quite understanding. They are your parents, your uncles, your aunties, the community, the young ones that are coming up, beautiful young ones, and you are getting old. Oh, you have to fall in. But I'm happy because I see things changing now. Females are allowed to be themselves, which is wonderful. So it's not about uncle or what tradition or what the culture says. It's what about, do you want to do it? You know, do you really want, are you set out to marry? I don't think everybody set out to marry or be a mom. It's a gift. And honestly, I love being a mom. And I would have had more children. But here I am. I guess 4 is enough.
What do you think of the English situation? Because here we have progress, they're called progress, and women are encouraged to work. But in a way, we're told that that is only the better way, work, and you're contributing to society by going to work, but staying at home is old-fashioned and is not really contributing. You're wasting your education and you're not contributing to society. What do you think about? Have we gone backwards?
First of all, there are some things I have seen in this country. You know, rich people in this country have their moms stay at home and they send their children to a very nice school where there's tradition. So, finding the balance of telling people you're better off at work. How better off are you at work when you don't know what's happening to your child? Children are not the same. I have 4 children. Every one of them is different. Of course, the system would like you to work. Perhaps it's good to keep your brain busy according to them, but your brain is busy 24/7 as a mom. So what is the benefit of paying taxes when you're going to churn out people who might not be able to go to work because you can lose them? What is the profit, the gain? What is the benefit of going to work and having to have people like children who may not be able to stand up for themselves in the future? How would you know when your child starts losing interest in schoolwork or creativity? Because when you come back from work, you're dead anyway. And then you get ready to do the normal things, dumbing things down again, go back to work. Meanwhile, a child who is creative needs time to nurture that creativity. So what has your taxes now? What is the benefit of that? Collecting that tax now because you're working and churn out people who may not be able to go to work because they might drop out of school. They might drop out of the opportunities available because you were not there to support them. And they grow up and depend on the system for other people to pay their benefits. I think that the system should find a balance, but I have seen also people send their children to very good schools and support them through. Like the moms are on ground to ensure that their children, because that first 15 years is absolutely vital. Let me say the first 12 years is absolutely vital. After that is good luck with what you have. Because the building blocks, the foundation, the homework, for instance, moving from primary school to secondary school is like this. And if you're not careful, you wouldn't know what's going on with your child. So leaving primary school with 2-3 homework, just 1 homework per week or 2. Then you have 12 or 13 a week and you have to finish it. So keeping children on top of work, deadlines, appreciation, creativity, behavior. If you don't answer the phone, the school calls you, how would you be able to nurture that behavior to kill off bad things and instill good things? The first 12 years, absolutely vital. Going to secondary school, they know this is the path. And then you can actually let go a bit. So I had to wait until my last one was 12 before deciding it's time to look for what to do. So I think the government should find a balance between and value. I believe they know that moms actually contribute a lot and they should be supported. And what I found that I think the support is there, but you have to find it. Perhaps if you get into trouble and you bother too much without complaining, you could find it. It's there. Because other people are there to say, okay, what can we talk? Let's see your views and let's find the in-between so that we can smooth things over and then you can have a life. There are parenting classes for people who don't know. Do you know that?
For parents?
Yes.
Yeah, to help parents.
To help parents.
But I think one of the big problems now that everyone goes to work is that we've lost touch of how to parent.
That's the point.
Because it takes time and it takes experience. I'm much better now. More experience, but I had to go through a process of learning.
That's possible.
But we're also removed, aren't we, because we don't have the community, so we're not growing up learning how to mother each other.
The thing is, like I said, the difference between mums here and mum in Nigeria is that we meet every Sunday in the church. So the church is a big community group that we all have to talk about what's going on. Not so here. People are in a hurry to leave the church after service and go because perhaps they are working, So And again, finding the boldness to engage someone else. People keep to themselves a lot, you know, so it's a bit difficult finding who's the right one. And like I said, those people always look out for each other. Like if someone sees me having 4 children and they have 3, oh, I can do with that. But if one says, this one is giving me hell, how do you cope? And you're like a magician. But it's not magic. It's just being, I think it's a natural process that this is what you got to do. You have to do it. So finding that the kind of people who will support you, you talk about, oh, this is what kids are doing. That's where you exchange ideas and children can visit, you know, one another, go playing together. Yeah, but you have to find it. In Nigeria, we don't find it. You open the door, you play on the street. You play until you bleed, come back home, treat yourself, go out again. Here you have to ask. It's difficult making friends here. You have to be invited. It's tough, isn't it? So yeah, it's tougher here, a bit lonelier.
We've talked about the tax system in the past. Now, I think, I know in my case, but my husband, as he earns more to try and support the family, then he's hit by the tax system. So he pays higher rate tax, and then he loses a child benefit. And so it's more difficult for, let's say, your husband to support you in your role at home. Have you found that?
I think my husband has got that covered. Well, I know sometimes I have money in my account and sometimes he says something about tax. I'm learning that now because I've started a business, so I'm thinking HMRC before. Yeah. I think he kind of shielded me from that bit, so I didn't know. I think the tax system, I think once I received tax credits from him, I was totally jobless. I was just at home, mom. He sorted it out. So that bit, I feel, I don't know very much about, but I hear him complaining, you know. And at once, even flippantly, I said to him, why don't we separate and then I can take the children and let the system give me a house and blah, 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 blah. He just looked at me. We can work it out, but I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the best. I think the government needs to support people who are married, because what I found out that if you're single, they help you. If you're married, you're doomed.
That's right.
And you have 4 children, that's your business. But the difference was that first time I visited England in 2003, and at first morning television on BBC, I saw Tony Blair telling women, look, it is your duty in this country to have children. I said, woo. Why would the Prime Minister come and tell people that it's your duty to have children? Is there like you've lost something? That the generation are not having children? And now living in the country and, you know, handing the government saying we want to support families. How? I don't know. But I think they should do better in the tax system and the tax credits. See that we are supported. You know, especially for those of us who have lots of kids, that you find out how we're doing, you know.
Do you feel that you're looked down on as a stay-at-home mother, or do you feel you're secure in yourself, you don't care what other people think?
Honestly, I'm very secure. It doesn't matter. Yes, I've been shunned many times. Yeah, but also I've been appreciated. There are people, like once I went to apply for a job, and, you know, read the title, what do you do? I said, I'm a mother at home. And the guy looked at me and said, oh, you're a homemaker. Brilliant. We need skills like that. Oh, I was like, okay. That was the first time. The man said, oh, you have to think about the budget. You have to think about the children. You're coordinating things. Oh, we need skills like that. Oh, wonderful. That was the first appreciation I got. The others, okay. He called it a homemaker. He said, your kids are doing well at school. I say, I suppose. He said, oh, we need that. How you keep on top of things. So there's a balance that people who say you don't work and they look away and talk about something else, and others who are saying you're a homemaker, then they ask questions. how many children? You say, four. How old? And they begin to, oh. So, yeah, there's a balance. Some are for and some are against. So, yeah, but honestly, either way, I don't care. This is my world, my kids. Being a mom is amazing.
Can you tell me a little bit about your housing situation? Because obviously, most people have they go back to work because they have a mortgage or the rent is really high. I know you've had a problem in your past. Your
Yes.
landlord wanted you out as well.
Is it one landlord or several? I've moved like 4 times.
How have you survived? How have you got through it and stayed at home?
I would just think it's the grace of God. But after that, what do you do? If you don't have your own home and the landlord says leave, you leave. It's very difficult. In fact, for the last move, oh God, it was very difficult. It was very extremely difficult. With my last move, I think that was the most difficult move. Yeah, because this time I had to think about myself. I asked my husband, when are you going to the government to do something about this? Let's have stability at least. Because moving around and the high rent, because right now rent is astronomical.
How much?
At the moment, just short of $2,000 a month. And we have to live poor. Have to manage every resource so that you can have a roof over your head. And we are learning also how to live in a system like this. So now I've started my own business, and then my husband is very supportive. Now we're looking at the books. Now the house where I live now is really tight, so it's not for, a family of 6. But we have to take that because that's what we can afford. And my daughter, she's been off to school, so she's not more at home. She's more in the uni than at home. And then you have the other 2 that will go to uni in the next year or 2. So that brought a little comfort that soon we will not all be crowded. Well, honestly, living in a small house has its own benefits as well, because right now they see me and I see them. You can't hide from me. Where is your homework? Why is this here? Why is that here? Like, oh, this woman. So we can eat together. We're in each other's faces. I love it. Sort of, it's small, but it's warm. The warmth it brings that you're small and everybody, we can always see each other and not live in a big house and everybody goes their own way and do their things and shut their room doors. Now the rooms are open. I can come in. I don't like this. I don't like that. Get rid of it. And they say, oh, the dragon is here. Come on, everybody. Mom is home. So, yeah, I believe there's a benefit to certain things that don't look nice, and we have a good landlord now. It's let's say, easy landlord. So that's a lot of comfort as well. But honestly, I think the house system, we're being priced out of renting. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. But we're just sticking by and praying that the government should look into it for our children's sake. Otherwise, it's unaffordable. I know how we live. I know how we live. I know how we manage every single penny. We count it and make sure that it goes the extra mile. So it's tough. Yeah. But okay. Especially when you see your children doing well. Yeah.
Where have they gone? What are they doing?
Studying. Are we Nigerians? We like academics.
What are your children doing? Where are they studying?
If I say this now, it will be typically Nigerian, but it didn't come that way. But that is allowing the child to make a choice, because I think I should be in the theater singing and dancing, but I wasn't allowed to do that.
Oh, I think you'll be
You know, the society made you think alternatively. And I think I lost it there. I still caught up with it. But with my children, we start early. But, you know, you put in the discipline of hard work. You have to put, what you put in is what you get out. And let them form. So my daughter right now, she's studying medicine at the University of Nottingham. It's a miracle. And actually, I wanted her to be a musician. I kind of coerced her to do music in GCSE. I kept going. I kept driving that to the music school. He wasn't there. I was looking for the spark. I think I lost a bit of myself, so one of my kids have to go there. I take them to music school. Oh, I buy music instruments. They are scientists. They do maths, and I don't know maths. So yeah, she's doing what she wants to do. She's very, very good. And the other one, my nature-loving boy, Chuka. That's the one you talked about stones. I said, oh, I'm not the only one. We have rocks, like rocks that he picked up. And, gosh, like an anthill, he builds them. And of course, he's potty as well. So they have a shrine of their sports, what's that called? Memory, what's it called? Trophies and memory, yeah, things, medals, and they have a shrine. That's a very sacred spot. Nobody goes there. And of course, his rocks, and then his dinosaur stuff. So yeah, I was thinking. He said he wanted to study something like anthropology or paleontology, you know. But right now, it's a different thing. Still nature loving, but I think he's looking more into studying history or graphics, something in that nature. Well, I'm happy for him. But I wish he studied music. He didn't touch any instruments, so they are still there. And the other one, by the way, they're active in the church. The other one took up the drums, and you've seen him play in the church. So when I see that, I say, yay! But he dropped his sticks last year for, you know, he didn't go further. But he said, Mom, I'm happy playing in the church. I said, okay, keep at it. And he's doing maths. He loves mathematics. And the little one loves to kick about, football. So in my house, we're all Arsenal fans. So yeah, but everyone has have taken to what they like. And it's looking good. They're happy doing it. Yeah, my son brings back his graphic stuff. Wonderful pieces. Lovely. And you know, I'm happy when I see them. Like, I remember someone who popped up to me once and said, oh, your son has helped my daughter a lot. That they meet outside the library there. He's always there. And then one topic in mathematics had been so difficult for my daughter, but all of a sudden it was like a eureka moment. He went out with your son and he came back and then, ooh, it's clear. That was a wonderful piece of news for me. So somebody's passionate about what he does. And I'm like, go for it. So yeah, when I see that, I'm very happy, very. I think I'm rewarded. If nobody sees it, I see it. And God sees it. And hallelujah, I'm very, very happy. Yeah. We all, women, should approach life as God has made it. And not be afraid to embrace the gift of motherhood if you are planning to. It's a wonderful, rewarding job. But you have to accept it and be prayerful. I go to church. I think we have to give it up to the Creator who has designed it to happen this way. You should be who you are. I think you are a good person, and being a good person, you should be a good mom. It's a smooth transition, because whatever you lose in your own life, you can actually see it happen in your next generation. It mustn't, but if you try, and it's just trial, there's no right or wrong. You just do it and it flows, and God willing, we'll find ourselves getting better and better. So, but the key is don't be afraid and please embrace yourself.